You are listening to the Built to Grow podcast, delivering the knowledge in all things fitness business. We help gym owners win. Here are your hosts, Tim Lyons and Randy Engston.
All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in a special brand new studio. Actually, it's the same place, but it's redesigned a second time. Joined as always by Randy Engston. What's up, guy?
Morning. How are we doing?
Good weekend?
Super Bowl weekend.
It was. Commercials were good. And what did you just tell me you missed? The halftime show.
I didn't see the halftime show. I'm kicking myself for this one though, because everybody's talking about how it was a great performance.
It was great.
I mean, I don't think.
Yeah, Dr. Dre, you had Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, and you had Eminem and Mary J. Blige, and somebody else. I don't know the other guy. I didn't recognize that guy.
I don't remember.
But it was good. They played and Snoop Dogg, and they played all the good stuff from my heyday at least. You're a little younger than me.
Yeah, that was still the trend.
Yeah,
only a couple years behind.
It's timeless. It's timeless.
Yes, classics.
Commercials were good. I don't know if anybody caught it, but the QR code bouncing around on the screen, there was a flurry of conversation in our Iron Circle. As soon as that QR code was coming out, I go, I know you guys just saw that.
I posted about it.
That would have been exactly what I would have done.
It was genius. And I love who did it.
Coinbase
did it. You know, one of the trends, obviously, this year, we saw a lot more crypto, digital. It was a little bit more of that ingrained in the ads and things like that. But I love that somebody like Coinbase, who is kind of it's a newer area, is pushing something like a QR code that, I mean, that was the whole commercial.
I heard it crashed.
QR code with Pong.
I heard it crashed their site. So that, shame on them. They should have known.
Up their bandwidth?
They should have been ready for that. Anyways, they got a bunch of scans, probably repixeling, and they pixeling, retargeted everybody. Anyways, it was genius. If you missed that, go on YouTube and check that out. And speaking of YouTube, we have a YouTube channel. We are getting back and growing that. YouTube.com/Built to Grow Podcast. Or just search on YouTube, Built to Grow Podcast.
We'll put it in the show notes either way.
Yeah, in the show notes, go check that out. We are starting to put more content there, and it's going to be more timely. So we, on us, we weren't, very up to date with that. We're caught up now, and we've got a brand new studio. So the video is awesome. You can see what we're doing in the studio. So we'd love for you to go subscribe and smash the button. Quick announcement before we get into this episode. We have our coaching group, guys. It's winninggym.com/coaching. Go check that out. If you need help, it's an 8-week program. We're going to hold your hand and work together with you to build your business. I mean, one of the main things that we do and our goals for most gym owners is to kind of remove them from the day-to-day operations, even if you like to do it, just that you don't have to do it.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And so removing you, that's kind of the main focus that we work on in the coaching group. But by default, you're going to have systems dialed in, marketing, sales, delivery, job descriptions, all going to be in there. So go check that out. All right. So speaking of gym owners being in the business on a day-to-day basis, a lot of times you go, and it goes through waves. A lot of times you're taking bullets. And what I mean by that is you hear about all the problems and you hear about the good stuff, but a lot of times gym owners focus on the negatives. For whatever reason, it gets stuck in your head, the leaky toilet, the gym member that, broke something, or they canceled their membership, and a bad coach or whatever. You're hearing about it all the time.
Well, you hear about it because nobody's, when things go well, that's the expectation, right? Your clients are happy if everything's the way it's supposed to be. So
that's the bare minimum
exactly.
expectation.
That it's the status quo, right? As long as you are executing and things are good, like no news is good news type of thing. But when something's wrong, everybody brings it up.
Yeah, everybody brings it up.
Everybody's going to talk about it.
And that's the first thing that goes on a review.
Absolutely. Of course, you could have a 10-year member that, something got pissed off because something broke or something happened, and all of a sudden, boom, that's the one thing they share. It wasn't 8 years of, hey, thanks for the results. It was the bathroom was dirty when I walked in the gym today.
Yeah.
And it was...
Well, it's interesting. You don't have to ask for a negative review, but you got to beg and plead for a positive review most of the time. So just that kind of sets the tone for this episode. This episode is all about protecting the mindset of you as the gym owner, or maybe you're in the GM role or you're a coach. I mean, it doesn't matter. This would pertain to any of you. But on a day-to-day basis, you're taking fire, you're taking heat, you're taking bullets. And like I said earlier, it seems to go in waves. For whatever reason, after 12 years in this industry, things come in waves. Like signups come in waves, and cancellations and negativity comes in waves. And if you're not careful, and you're sitting there taking fire, you could find yourself, bummed out in a dark place, shutting the door, ignoring it all, and then a quarter goes by, and next thing you know, you're way behind.
It's all doom and gloom. It's all you literally resent the business that you created, that you run and operate. And if anytime you're in a place of resentment, it's the hardest thing to get past, because you have to re-engage. Like, you have to find that passion, that love. You have to re-energize yourself to go back and do the work to get the momentum back in your favor. That's a big uphill battle if this has gone on for a while.
Yeah.
And if you haven't done anything to protect your mindset along the way.
Well, I think the first thing, if you're listening to this, is to recognize what's happening. This could be happening to you right now. Maybe you expected a great January and nothing great happened in January, and we're into February and you're just hoping for things to pick up and they haven't yet. And then all of a sudden you're just in this negative mindset and everything bad is happening. You, as the gym owner, need to do it. There's a lot of things we're going to tell you how to do. I think one of the very, very first things, and the best thing that I did, was I put somebody in front of me, customer facing.
It's like your gatekeeper.
Yeah. So I don't hear. So Zach, if you've been listening any longer than 5 episodes, you know that Zach is our fitness director here, and he's the customer facing or client facing member of the facility. So most of the stuff goes to him. So I don't hear about all of the stuff. I do hear about bad stuff and good stuff when it happens, but a lot of the little nitpicky stuff that he's just going to handle, I don't ever hear about it.
Doesn't bubble up to you.
The difference is in those situations where the gym owners don't have a fitness director or a GM in place, you're hearing about all of it, right? And so that's been one of the best things that for me is now I can actually focus on other things instead of all the day-to-day, mundane stuff, good or bad.
Absolutely.
And so if, that would be the first thing I would kind of recommend to anybody is, can you get somebody that's kind of like taken, like a shield to you?
Yeah.
So that would be the first thing. What would you recommend, Randy, if you find yourself just getting pounded on it, like just getting negativity thrown at you?
One of the first things that we work with every gym owner on is just, as far as performance, is being able to be the best version of yourself in that seat. And so time blocking is a big thing. If you know that you're handling customer service and you're handling some of these issues and things like that, you have to have time in your day to address those things. The reason that I like time blocking is because you can control your thoughts in the way that you feel about the business and certain things at those times, right? You don't want to take those calls or be deep in customer service and then have to turn around and go be in that sales position or go, present to your organization or your team or whatever it may be. You literally just took those licks. You just got, your mind was dragged to all of these problems, all this negativity. You have to reframe. You have to take time for yourself. Take a minute, walk away, come back with a fresh, belief, because you have to believe your product if you're about to go sell it, especially. And if you're sitting there just thinking about all the garbage of the day,
you start to doubt yourself.
You absolutely do. Now you don't even believe, that, well, damn, does my team care about the gym? Are they as serious about this as I am? All of those little things start to fester, and now you have massive, resistance around what you're about to go do. And you should be in a sales position with nothing but diehard belief that you're the best opportunity, to provide the results for these clients. And that's hard to do when you just, took those hashes for some time.
What would you say? I would almost say 50-60% of sales is emotion for you and belief that your product will solve the problem for your end consumer.
Absolutely. I mean, we've all been in that seat, whether it be buying something or selling it, and most of us obviously, sell to some degree, but we've all been in the other end of the position where you knew the person that you were buying from didn't believe it. You pick up on that, you read it, it's carried in your conversation. And so if you do have that doubt, you need to address something fast so that you're not in that seat when that sales opportunity is taking place.
So one of the bigger takeaways here is to understand that good things and bad things happen.
Correct.
All the time. Understand a lot of times they come in waves. Not all the time, but it's a lot of time. They come in waves. So if you can see that coming, just realize tomorrow's a new day, and you could reverse course, right away. If you're getting a bunch of cancellations, turn around and get a bunch of sales. You could offset that and have a great month.
Absolutely. Within that, one of the things that I work on specifically with a coaching client just this last week, she had a number of cancellations in January, like way larger than what she obviously would like. Not a typical month, but I asked her. I said, okay, first off, we have to reframe. Reframe is something that my coach taught me. It's, when you're in a position or when you are experiencing that and you're stuck in the problem, you need to stop, become aware of the fact that, right, every problem has a solution. What are my solutions? And let's move towards those. And so that awareness of, okay, this is a problem that's standing out, not I'm not staring at the solutions. I'm just focused on the hell that's happening right now. Right. Take a deep breath and say, okay, cool. Like you said, tomorrow's a new day, or maybe even today, right? What can I do to make this better? What are these options? Now shift your focus to those solutions. If you're focused on the solutions, the problems start to diminish, right? It's not consuming your mind. You're already moving and taking action in one of these. So reframing the mindset of just understanding problem solution. But within that, I reminded her I've used the term control the controllables. I use it with all of our coaching clients. I've used it with, my coaches used it for me for years. And it's because there's external circumstances that happen all of the time. Your client got sick and is in the hospital, or your client moved away, or they took a new job. Like, the fact that they canceled their gym membership is a byproduct of that. Mm-hmm. It's not they didn't cancel their gym membership
because they hate
they didn't want to come to the gym. And so, let's say she had 10 cancellations for the sake of what it was. After discussing it with her, it was under 20% she could have controlled. Mm-hmm. Basically, it was like 2 people of the group were leaving because of a decision based on the training, their results. They weren't happy with the delivery. 80% of them had other extenuating circumstances. Like, you couldn't win. Like, this isn't your battle to win. So understand that it's natural. Like, that client just has to go somewhere else. Yes, it sucks on the numbers. It sucks on our delta. The P&Ls change. But what do we do?
What it is. Right?
Exactly. It is that it's circumstantial. Just understand that. Right. But then, even in that's a problem. What's our solutions? Outsell it. Right? We just lost memberships. So what do we need? What do we do in business? We have to get that back. So what do we do? I took her, right through this whole process, right from holy, crap, my business is burning down to, okay, cool, I've got an action plan. This is what we're doing. It's going to be okay.
Immediately the mindset changes. Yep. And that's the key, protecting the mindset of the gym owner. You have to.
Here's a caveat, or there's something that stood out right there. She had a resource in us to speak to. And you guys listening, if you don't have a coach, go find a coach. I love it for it to be us, but if it's not, find a coach. You are a coach, coaching others. Coaches need coaches too. And so to have a resource to be able to rely on or to lean on and say, hey, this is what I'm experiencing. This is what I'm feeling. And that's a weird thing. Business and emotions, it's so much of it's logic, and we root, so much of it in logic. But when you deal with people, emotions,
are humans,
dude.
Humans are humans. And look, I've as a high performer that I feel like I am, I still get in these ruts, sure. Right? And I can understand, especially getting hammered all the time, just getting nailed, that you need to talk to somebody. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have a coach, then yes, I would absolutely recommend that. And another plug for what we're doing, winninggym.com/coaching. Check it out. We are here for you, guys. We care about you. We want you to win. I mean, this whole podcast is about you and us working together to get you to the end, to a win. Period. Absolutely. And that win could be more money, more time, more freedom, all of those things. Maybe it's another gym. Maybe it's making that first hire is a win for you. We've had that too. And so whatever that is for you, we'll determine that. We work together to get that. But of all things, takeaways, expect that things are going to happen, and it doesn't take you by surprise. Sit back, take a deep breath, like you said. Control the controllables. Some of that stuff's out of your control. You can't dwell on it and worry about it. Yeah, it stings, but then be solution focused, period. How do I get out of this hole and start working towards that way? Because then the problems are gone eventually.
And so, with the emotional aspect, right? Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to control our emotion, try to get us back into where we need to be in the right headspace to go perform and operate our businesses. And the awareness that something is happening. This is the way that I'm feeling. As a result of that, that's in your control. You know, like your attitude. One of my favorite aspects, one of the most eye-opening things for me in my entire life was, as coach, you know, working with coaches, was just the understanding that when something happens, your emotional reaction or response is within your control. Once it happens, you know, now I have a decision. Is this the emotion I want to move forward with? You're choosing to feel that way. If you don't want to feel that way, make a different choice.
Choose
it's
not
hard.
to.
It is difficult, but we all have that ability. Unless somebody else is putting hands on you, nobody can affect the way that you feel. I mean, it's implied. And things like that.
I 100% agree with it. I would tell you it's a lot harder.
Absolutely. It comes with reps.
And this is exactly where I was going to go. When I was new in the business, any little thing would throw me off. And then you fix it once, and then it happens again, you fix it again, and then all of a sudden that same problem, it doesn't bother you as much. And then as you get more reps and you've been in business years and years and years, I feel like your entrepreneurial scars are so thick, and you have callus.
You're resistant, yeah.
And nothing really affects you the same way. And so for those of you in the business 1, 3, 5 years, I get it. You know, it's hard right now. But after 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years, you know what? You brush things off that normally would have crushed you. And so it's the calluses.
Yeah.
And you know what? It is what it is. It takes time, and maybe you got to get some gray hair, and get there.
But you can speed it up with awareness. That's the thing. You can get closer to having a little bit more emotional fortitude and the understandings. As long as you become aware of it, like that's where it all begins to change. Change doesn't happen unless unless awareness is there. But this is your opportunity to be aware, right? Like if you're still experiencing those emotional roller coasters, take a deep breath and understand. Okay, other people have done this. Like they figured it out. It'll be okay. I'll get through it myself. But if you find yourself in those turmoils, you have to do something. Definitely pursue education, emotional awareness. I read a ton of books on it, a ton, and everything comes back. The deeper I get into the business books, the more it is about controlling your emotional state and being a high performer. Like show up and do the work, but don't let the noise, captivate you or deter you.
So there you have it, guys. Understand it's going to happen. Now you could be more aware, right? Now you're more aware. If you guys do need help, reach out, guys. Hopefully you're doing well. Until next episode, that's it for this show. Keep changing lives. We'll see you on the next show. Bye. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the Built to Grow podcast, where we help gym owners win. Now, do you want to connect with me and other gym owners online? All you got to do is join our private Facebook group, Marketing Talk with Fitness Professionals, right now. Just head on over to Facebook and type in Marketing Talk with Fitness Professionals. And when you join, we're going to give you free access to our 10 fitness marketing strategies 7-figure gym owners use to win. All right, I look forward to you joining us next time on the Built to Grow podcast. Keep building something great.